Hey there, everyone. Give me like 5 minutes and then we'll be starting really soon. Hey, hey there, everyone. Welcome back to another live stream. So today we are going to be doing the ICT 0417 Paper 1 Variant 1, October November 2023. So if you have seen the way I'm doing the live stream is that I started all the way from 2024. Now I'm coming to 2023. And if there's time, then we'll also do 2022 before the May June variant 1 paper for the variant 1 for people 1, right? So without any further ado, let's get started. A news agent has created a database with fields to store details of each newspaper and magazine he sells. Hard product number here, name of publication, selling price, frequency, and field names. That would be the most appropriate primary key for the database. It can't be selling price, so the ones that can be, I'll just do them in red. It can't be selling price, it can't be frequency. Publisher is being repeated, can't be this, repeated. Name of publication, not really, but then product number has the highest chances because a product number of any product would always be unique, right? So that should be product number. Then it says the news agent has added a field called barcode to store the barcode number of the field. Explain why a presence check is not suitable validation check for the barcode field. It's because maybe the publication or the publisher does not have a barcode relating to their products, and also because the barcode is not the primary key. So even if it's there or it's not, they will not affect the rest of the data. That's why a barcode can also be a null value. That's why a presence checker is not something really suiting over there. The newspaper agent could use a relational database rather than a flat file database. Describe the advantages of using a relational database rather than a flat file database. Okay, so instantly I know that there's less data redundancy or data duplication. It's faster because data only needs to be entered once and it syncs over all the tables. The news agent can create complex queries, he can create complex reports, and yeah, I think those are something formats that I could easily get. From the data shown in the part of the database, identify the most appropriate data types for selling price and name of publication. So selling price is easily going to be numeric and then currency and then forward name of publication if I'm not wrong. Yeah. Name of publication. This would also be text or alphanumeric. Any of them would be given correct. So I'm done with that. Let's check whether I'm correct. So it's product number. Okay. Not every publication has a barcode. Yes. Uses data integrity. Okay. Yeah, I didn't mention this, but relational database have more data integrity, which means no discrepancies or inconsistency in the data. Less memory used. No, I think relational database, right? No, 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 no. Relational database use more memory than in the computer. I don't know if this point in the math scheme is correct or not, but I highly doubt it. Data is not unnecessarily duplicated, so yes, reduces data redundancy or duplicacy. Queries can be created, complex queries, reports can be created. You only have to input it once, therefore it saves time. Yeah, I did mention that. Then yeah, so numeric, currency, and then text. Okay, string or alphanumeric, any of these three. State the most appropriate word or phrase to complete each sentence. The type of data output from a sensor. Okay, so now sensor would be analog, data read by a microprocessor. Microprocessor is just like a computer, so this should be digital. The item of hardware that converts data from a sensor, so from analog to a microprocessor, so that a microprocessor can read it to digital. So that would just be ADC or analog to digital converter. Type of sensor that's in a refrigerator. Refrigerator, that's probably something to do with cold or how hot it is. Then it is most likely to be temperature. Yes, so analog, digital, ADC, and temperature sensor correct. A group of students are carrying out a study on the quality of water for a project. They can either use a tablet computer or a smartphone to monitor and record their findings, discuss the advantages and disadvantages of using a tablet computer rather than a smartphone for this project. Okay, let me guess. It's a 6 mark question again. Yes, sir. So if it's 6 marks, that means I have to give at least three here and three here. But if you go with my recommendation, go with at least four, three like this. If that's all the ones you can remember, I'll go with four, three like this. Okay? Because the way math teams keep changing each year, sometimes even in the same year, different variants have different math team answers. So just go with as many as you can remember. So advantages, I will give them here. Then disadvantages, I'll give them here. So advantages could be that since tablets have a larger screen, it's easier to control and navigate through the tablet. Since larger screen and larger on-screen keyboard, it's easier to enter data and less data errors or less errors in the data entry. Then tablets can connect to more devices, I think. What else can we add? Tablets. Anyone in the comments that would like to give this one? Okay, nope. Um, so yeah, I think we could say these three. Then coming to disadvantages, they are more likely to have smartphones with them. Smartphones are more portable, and what else? Okay, if they are recording using a camera or audio, then a smartphone is likely to have better quality. That's something I would have definitely said. Okay, so easier to connect devices, yes. Larger screen, yes. Larger to keep the keyboard, yes. Better soft. Okay, so tablets have better software suited to the task. Disadvantages, they are more portable, carried in a pocket, like with our smartphones. You have to use a camera that, yeah, like it's in that. Identify two devices that could be used by the students to enter data. So they could have used a keyboard, probably probably a camera. I don't know, maybe microphone to like speak in the data or anything. So these are some that I think they could have used. Okay, keyboard, camera, oh, microphone, that touch screen and sensor, yeah. Okay, before we move on to the next question, let me just check if I'm actually streaming. Because it usually happens that I think I'm streaming, but I'm actually not streaming. And that is actually quite frustrating. So just give me like 2 minutes to check. All right, it's a bit low. I don't know what you call it. The the stream health, but then because of my internet, I think we can try and manage it. Okay, moving on to the next question. A teacher is considering setting up a card system for students to buy food in the school canteen. The head teacher is trying to decide whether to install a system that uses magnetic stripe card readers or to use the ones with chip and pin card readers. Compare the use of magnetic stripe card readers with the use of chip and pin card readers. Your answer must include similarities and differences. Again, go with the 3-4 rule or 4-3 rule, whichever one they can remember. So similarities here, then differences over here. Similarities include they both need direct contact to enter data or for a transaction to happen. They can both be they can both they are both susceptible to wear and tear. So like because of you by using it, like it can start wearing off. What else can we say? They are both input devices. Yeah, yes, they are both input devices. Coming on to the differences. Okay, so for chip and pin reader, the user or the student has to remember the the pin. Um, for magnetic stripe reader, the person does not need to remember the pin or anything, so it can be used by anyone. Then what else can we add? Magnetic stripe readers or magnetic stripe card is faster as you do not need to enter a pin, but the pin and chip and pin reader are safer since they cannot be used by anyone else. Then chip and pin card is more likely for shoulder surfing to happen, but for magnetic stripe card, more likely for skimmers to use or using magnets to affect the magnetic field or anything, something like that. So these are some of the points I would have mentioned. The indirect contact cause wear and tear, both input. Yes. Okay. User needs to know the pin, susceptible to shoulder surfing. Okay, so chip and pin reader prompts the user to enter a pin. It's more secure as a pin is needed. The card can be used by anyone and no pin is needed. It's faster, less data entry because there's no manual input. Right. A bridge and a router are examples of networking devices. Explain the difference between a bridge and a router. Okay. So what a bridge does is that it connects two LANs with the same protocol, and it also connects different parts to create a LAN. That's what a bridge does. What a router does is that it connects a LAN to the WAN, and it also helps route data packets and send them to the particular destination networks. So those are some key differences, as you can see here. A router connects a LAN to WAN, allows data packets to be sent to the LAN WAN, creates a single LAN from separate parts, and connects to the same protocol. So, router can be with a different protocol or the same protocol. Remember that. IP addresses are used in computer networks. Explain what is meant by an IP address. I love questions like these. Why? Because over here they have given me what an IP address is like. IP address now, just saying the IP address stands for Internet Protocol has already given me one of them now. So I can say that IP address gives a temporary location for devices on the network. It's the address is used to help device connect to the internet. Then the address can be used to detect the current location of the device on the network. And I don't know what else can we talk about IP. There's some keyword like how many hexadecimal IP uses. How many hexadecimal does IP address use? Because I'm not really sure. Okay, so IP addresses use each eight hexadecimal digits. Okay. Okay, right. So I can also say that IP addresses use eight hexadecimal digits. And yeah, that's something I could definitely say. Oh yes, unique identifier. Yes, and how did I miss that? So IP address must be different for each device on a network connected to the internet using IP address determines the electronic location of the device. So IP address are a unique identifier which must be different for each device on the network, which helps devices connect to the internet using their IP address and determine the electronic location of the device. Yes, sir. Explain the purpose of a routing table. Okay, so a routing table is used to route data packets to the is used to route or forward data packets to the destination network. It's used to store the destination address, or it's used to store IP addresses. It's used to store the path that the path that the data packet will take, where they will be directed, store the route information, and store IP addresses. Yes, sorry. Okay. So a cricket club secretary saves a list of players as a PDF file. Describe two advantages of saving the list as of players as a PDF file. Okay, so something I could say is that okay, so on the PDF you cannot really edit it, and to edit it you need a special software or PDF editing softwares or PDF viewers to even open it. Okay, PDFs sometimes give incorrect like render like incorrectly. That's something you could have added. The cricket club has a junior team for 6 to 8 year old players. The secretary has produced an e-publication. So e-publication basically stands for electronic publication, where anything that is providing data or anything is published online or electronically. So it can be e-books, e-blogs, e-posters, whatever e that you can do to attract new members to the junior team. State two features of an e-publication that could not appear on a paper poster. Okay, so you cannot have video on a paper poster. You cannot have audio on a paper poster. You can't have transitions and animation. You can't have the poster read it from text to speech for you like you can do on